Welcome to the Business Spotlight. Today we are joined by Anthony Chicchirillo. Hi, Anthony.
Hiya. Hi, Mark.
How you doing? You good?
Very well. Thanks for inviting me on.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. So, for those of you joining us for the first time, what is the Business Spotlight? So, the Business Spotlight, it's been created for us to find out a little bit more about business, and obviously today find out a bit more about Anthony's business. And if you're thinking of getting into business, or if you're already on that entrepreneurship journey, you're in the right place. So, Anthony, if you can just kick things off for us by letting the audience know who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for.
Sure. Yeah, fine. So I'm Anthony Chicchirillo. I am currently the owner and marketing director of Anthony Lettings Limited in Hertford. And I also co-own Via Properties in Hoddesdon, which is a more traditional type estate agency. I also am a little bit of an industry consultant. I go around and speak to other business owners within my industry. I've been in the industry since 1986 and started up my own business in 1998. So I'm about to enter my 39th year in the industry, and I've absolutely loved it.
Wow, that's an amazing amount of time. I mean, congratulations, first and foremost. 39 years. I mean, what made you want to get into this business then, Anthony?
Right, so a bit of an odd story. So remember being at secondary school. So it was secondary year 4, which I think in today's currency is year 10.
Yeah.
We all had to go off and do a week's work experience. I'm not sure if that still goes on. I think it might do. I had a thing about bridges at the time, bit of an odd thing. But my desired option was civil engineering. But obviously my school couldn't find a post for me. So they put me in with an estate agency for the week. Absolutely fell in love with the industry, loved the rapport, the chat that was going on between client and agent. So much so that I was finishing school at 3:30 and absolutely sprinting up to the office just to work the final hour of the day with them, and Saturdays as well. So kind of went glove in hand. I just fell in love with the industry and what it was all about, really.
Wow, what an amazing story. So, I mean, it's kind of been a bit of a love affair since you was 15.
Yeah, 14, 15. I can't remember exactly, but yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So, well, look, I mean, you've got a lot of experience, but what would you say, Anthony, if I was to say, what makes you different from your competition? What is it that you do differently?
Well, with Anthony Lettings, we are purely or solely focused on lettings. We have no sales distractions like our competitors. My staff are extremely experienced. We take it really, really seriously, especially the compliance side of things. I've got 2 directors working with me that have each worked with me for over 20 years each. They're both landlords as well. We are one of very few independent agents in the country that are trading standards approved. We've been approved for the last 5 years continuously, and that's not easy to fit through or to get through the criteria there. What's been really nice actually over the last couple of years, so 2 years ago we entered into the top 8 letting agencies with the Property Academy in the country. We felt as a team that really wasn't good enough, so we worked really hard last year to up our game with customer service, with advice for our landlords, and we got recognised as being one of the top 1% in the country now via the Property Academy, which was really rewarding, and that's all thanks to my team really, and the hard effort they've put into it.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're in the top 1% in the country.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Wow, well, congratulations first
Yeah,
and
thank you.
foremost. I mean, the fact that you've got that sort of accolade, I mean, you clearly are head and shoulders above the competition. So well done on that, Anthony.
Thank you.
So, I mean, what's the journey been like? I mean, just give us I mean, it's probably been a long one. So give us a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the business and the journey so far.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, from the word go, I've loved the industry. I love every morning. I love getting up to work. It's been really diverse. I mean, the regulation changes from back in the 80s to where we are now is unrecognisable. Um, it's never the same day twice. You know, I've probably been involved in thousands of tenancies. Um, it's just the whole pleasure of seeing maybe a younger couple that have just been handed keys to their first abode together, you know, and it's so rewarding. And these experiences have taken me to, I'm now part of the Tillit Group, which is a government think tank basically for the PRS, which is the private rented sector. I sit on the panel of one of the ombudsmen as well. And I'm just trying to give back what it gave me. And like I say, it's been very rewarding and satisfying career. The industry's really been really nice to me, really kind to me.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've had an amazing sort of time and an amazing journey. I mean, so I mean that brings us up to where you are now, Anthony. But you know, what sort of plans have you got for the future, and what sort of challenges do you think you're going to have going into 2025?
Yeah, 2025 is going to be a tough year for many agents. We're actually so the industry is changing. We've got what's known as the Renters' Rights Bill coming through next year. I think it's had its second reading in Parliament, and that will be introduced to the industry sometime next year. I'm not really very happy with the wording. It was the Renters' Reform Bill, but they've changed that to the Renters' Right Bill, and that's to make tenancies a bit more secure for the tenants, which I totally agree. So it's kind of maybe not scaring off a few landlords, but we need to educate and continue to communicate with these landlords to keep them in the industry. I think some tenancies, especially those with maybe a slightly longer term tenancies, they're going to be less secure, funnily enough, which is defeating the object. But we really need to keep these landlords on board. Because they provide such an important service within the communities. Housing is a huge issue at the moment. Appreciate rents are very, very high, but we need these people to stay within the industry. And I think it's such a wonderful space to actually invest your money to provide a home for a family or something. It's, you know, it's so rewarding. And we really need more people. Those landlords that have been in it for a while and have got multiple properties of what's known as a portfolio landlord, I think they will remain and they will buy more. But those sort of one-off landlords, they might be, maybe, I won't go into the technicalities of the Renters' Rights Bill because that's a whole different conversation. But I think we'll lose some. There will be some, but the real fear is that there's going to be less options for tenants, which will still maybe increase rents. So that's a real challenge. I'm very lucky. My team here are fantastic, but keeping good staff is another challenge for as a business owner. So, you know, I'm only as good as the people around me, and if they're good, you need to retain them, and that's going to be a hard task for us in our, you know, as a business owner in this industry.
Yeah, no, that's some really great shares there, and I'm sure a lot of that is definitely going to resonate with a lot of our audience today. So thanks for that share, Anthony.
Yeah.
So, I mean, moving on to yourself then as the business owner. I mean, you know, you've many years of experience there, Anthony. So, what would you say would be one of or some of the biggest lessons that you've learned that you'd like to share with our audience today?
I think the biggest lesson is not to take people at, you know, sort of at face value. You really got to get to know your people, and be flexible. You know, have an understanding of what they're about. Gut feeling is always, you should always listen to your initial gut feeling, but you know, step back and just listen to people, understand their brief, regardless whether they're, you know, they're on maybe a landlord or a tenant or even staff. So I'd always give time and, you know, give people a reflection and see exactly what they're after. Yeah, I think you've got to be flexible, and don't paint everybody with the same brush. And you know, and obviously I forgot what the thing is about. You know, don't judge a book by its cover type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's some really great advice. And I think that be flexible is what's resonating here. And I think you know, one size doesn't fit all. You've got to be different with different people and adapt and adopt to the sort of situation as well. So, you know, think gone are the days where you can just take that, what used to be called like a cookie cutter approach. You've got
Yeah.
to be able to adapt. You've got to be versatile. You've got to be flexible. So I think that's some really great advice there, Anthony. Thank you again for another great share. So you mentioned time a couple of times here as well. So if we were able to travel back in time, Anthony, and you know, whether that might be, I think, you know, for me, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. Whenever I think of time traveling, all I ever think about is a DeLorean hitting 88 miles an hour and using the flux capacitor to go back in time. So we're jumping in the DeLorean and we're going to go back in time. We're going to go and visit an 18-year-old Anthony, and you get to give yourself one piece of advice, one golden nugget. What would it be?
Um, Professionally, go into something that you have a real passion about. If you can earn your living out of what I feel for me has been a hobby, it will make your day go past faster. You look forward to waking up the following morning, and you know it will just be so rewarding. And you'd want to push yourself, and you want to push yourself forward every day. Create different marketing strategies because you want to be better at it. I think passion for what you do. I just don't think you can put a price on it. You know, I don't know how it feels like to wake up and go to work and you don't like it. That is so alien to me, and I'm sure there's people out there that have to do it. I completely understand that, but like I said, I've been lucky. I found an industry which I love, adore, and you know, like I say, it's been so kind to me. So if you're going to go into something, do something that you really enjoy doing. You may not know what that is yet, and maybe you know you have to have 3 or 4 jobs to find out what you're really there for, and then. But if you do want to start up your own business, do something that you enjoy. Christ's sake.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I can tell just with the passion in your voice there, Anthony, that I mean, you've mentioned that it was something that you, when you was 14, 15 years old, sort of fell in love with. And that's a rare thing. I mean, you know, it's very nice to hear someone that's had that happen. And I often hear people say exactly what you've just said there, which is find something that you love doing, find something that you enjoy. And, you know, if you can make a difference and maybe even make some money at the same time, then
Yeah,
that's when
yeah,
you've mastered the art of being
yeah.
happy.
Yeah, Mark. Obviously, we all need to earn money. We all need to, to live. But it's not about the money. Sometimes it is about enjoying your day, helping people. You know, like I say, I mean, I used to the joy I used to see on a young couple's face when you hand them over the key, and they both leave home and they're living together. It's just priceless. Really, really priceless.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's another great share, and I can just tell by the passion in your voice that you know, you found something, your vocation, if you will, what you
Mm,
love to do, and clearly you feel you make the difference, which again you do.
mm.
So, I mean, on that note, Anthony, I mean, you're clearly very passionate about what you do, and one of the things I'd like to find out is what is it that really inspires you to continue to do what you do, day in, day out, week in, week out?
Yeah, for me, I mean, for me, it's my team. Really, they're so good. We're a team of 8 here at Anthony Lettings, and um, I can't do everything. So you're relying on good people doing what they're good at, and I'm so fortunate that they're now seeing a bit of financial reward as well, because the company's been really successful the last sort of 8-9 years. So I'm really pleased for them. But also, again, it's helping people, finding really good homes. My landlord clients are fantastic. Some really, really good homes available for people, and finding the right people with the right property is what pushes me on all the time. I'm not bored of it. I'll never get bored of that. I just there's a lot of legislation that goes with it. A lot of hard work goes on in the background. There's, I think, about 20 hours manpower to get one deal across the line, and that's because we're covering nearly 180 items of legislation, the copious amount of regulation required now. New softwares have helped, but very much so. But you still need to be on it. You still need to be compliant. But again, it's the reward at the end of the day, and that's just purely handing keys over, maybe with a bottle of champagne for them, and that's yeah, that's lovely.
Wow, that's it's so nice and so refreshing to hear that. I mean, and to sort of still be in love with what you do after nearly 40 years is, I mean, absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, it's such a nice thing to hear, Anthony. So, thanks again for sharing that, because again, I can just tell by your little face, it's sort of like nearly as sort of excited as when you see a
Yeah,
kid opening up their birthday or Christmas presents. So, I mean, it's just so
yeah.
refreshing and nice to see. So, listen, Anthony, there's going to be loads of people that are going to want to find out more. They're going to want to have a conversation with you, and they're going to want to find out more about your business as well. So, what's going to be the best way for people to do that?
Well, you can go through our website, anthonylettings.co.uk. I would be delighted to speak to anybody who wants to invest in this space, you know, to invest in a second home, a buy to let. Like I say, it's a very nice way to invest your money. They can email me directly at anthony@anthonylettings.co.uk. And if I'm not available, then my two co-directors here, I've got Linda Cassidy and Mark Ferrara. Again, there's over 40 years experience, just those two. They're landlords themselves, and they'll happily talk to you directly, whatever it takes. But we want, you know, we're championing landlords. It's a very if you've got the right agent on board, it can be stress-free. And we like to think that we are one of the leading, you know, agents to come to. So we'd happily have 10, 15, or however long it takes, conversation. I think a proper conversation over the phone, or come and visit us. We're at the Rotunda in Hertford, opposite Big Tesco's. Yeah, just come and talk to us, really.
Fantastic. Anthony, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Business Spotlight today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Mark. Again, thanks for inviting me on. Brilliant.
It's been brilliant. And for all of our viewers and listeners out there, that is a wrap. That's the end of this Business Spotlight. We'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.